Joe Biden claims he knows a thing or two about farming because he's from Delaware.
Everybody looks at me and says, have you ever been on a farm? And I remind them that what nobody knows. I come from the state of Delaware. I represented Delaware for 36 years in the United States Senate, and we have more chickens than there are Americans, more broilers. And so, you know, I've been very, let me put it this way. If I didn't know something about farms, I'd have been a United States Senator for 6 years, not 36 years.
But old McBiden doesn't know how to farm, because if he did, he'd know this. Diesel fuel is now averaging $5.57 a gallon, and farmers can't keep up with the cost. They need cheap fuel for their tractors, so they're passing on the cost of fielding their crops to us. You add fertilizer prices going bananas. All this corn and the soybeans we use to feed livestock are much more expensive, which raises the prices of meat, my favorite thing to eat. My next guest says if things keep heading in this direction, we can expect food shortages, grocery bills doubling, and Americans are going to get hangry. And there's nothing scarier than a hangry American. Ben Riensche is a corn and soybean farmer and owner of Blue Diamond Farming Company. All right, did I get that right, my analysis? I'm not from Delaware.
Well, I think you're spot on, Jesse. If you think we're seeing food price spikes right now, I think the food price increases are just starting. And I don't think your grocery bill will be $1,000 a month. I think it may go up $1,000 a month. As a farmer, what I want to tell you, Jesse, is that I don't. This is not a transitory problem. This is chronic and systemic. I mean, I think we're going to see real food scarcity and empty shelves. That's the end game of this. My diesel prices have doubled. That's crushing my profit margin. And my fertilizer prices for phosphorus, nitrogen, and potassium, the three key nutrients I need to grow my crops, are up 3 times. I just opened a fertilizer bill. It was $1 million. And it's one of 3 that I'm going to receive. It's up 3 times from last year.
That's unbelievable. I just want the American people to understand something. Right now, it's almost June, and you're coming on Jesse Watters Primetime as a farmer, and you're saying that this is going to happen. You're going to see grocery prices up $1,000. You're going to see food scarcity. Things are not going to be on the shelves. You're saying this now in late May. I don't think the Biden administration, even if they saw this interview, is going to do anything about this. Do you have a message for the Biden administration?
Well, to look at this, you know, high prices are shutting down demand for ag inputs. We've just planted the crops by spreading things thin. Farmers have quit buying, and the supply chain is reluctant to restock. And so how do we fix it? Well, it started a year ago when this administration put tariffs on fertilizer inputs from friendly nations that could help us out. Our energy policy, the Green New Deal, ESG sort of ideas have made energy, particularly natural gas, much more expensive. And that's critical to the feedstock for fertilizer, especially ammonium and nitrate fertilizers. President Biden announced plans last week to help stimulate new fertilizer plants. But let's be realistic. That will take most of a decade to bring it online. And then, of course, you know, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, that's a region of the country that supplies about 1/4 of all grain exports, about 1/3 of all fertilizers. That's inaccessible to the market right now. There's a lot of policy changes we need to make this better.
Yeah, there's some policy changes and some political changes, and I think we know what those are. Ben, our hearts are going out to you. Hopefully you can keep up with all this craziness and keep helping put food on our table. We really appreciate all that you do, Ben, and everything else that's done out there in the heartland. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.